Would you believe that Fantasy Premier League has taught me more about fitness than any training plan I've ever followed? Last season was full of mistakes, setbacks and even injuries, but also some massive breakthroughs. Here's what I've learned so far. Hello and welcome to Forfeit FPL, the channel where we convert fantasy points into real kilometres. My name is Kai and today I'm going to be discussing the main takeaways from last season and what changes I'll be implementing this time round. Diving straight in, the first realisation I had was that winter training is brutal. Right now, during the summer months, training just feels so easy. It's warmer throughout the day, lighter for most of the day, and in my opinion it just makes you want to get outside and do things. This is a stark contrast to winter, when it just feels like it's so much harder to do anything. Getting home from work and it being pitch black, cold and wet outside just absolutely drains any motivation of going for a run or a bike ride. I've also been taking my daughter out on pushchair plods. This completely loses its appeal during the winter because I don't have to just worry about myself, but I need to make sure she's wrapped up and comfortable. It's also much more dangerous running in the dark with her. The thought of having to clean the mud from not only my trainers but the pushchair wheels is just upsetting. I also had an accident last season. I injured my wrist and damaged my bike. I ended up needing to buy a replacement part which set me back nearly £25, an expensive lesson indeed. One workaround I have for this problem is training indoors more. I can do this by utilising the treadmill or indoor bike. This eliminates the problem with the weather, but training exclusively indoors will be so boring. Staring at a wall in front of you just doesn't hit the same as being outside. I also can't take my daughter with me when training indoors. To combat this, I will have to do some training outside either first thing in the morning before I go to work, or squeeze in some fizz during lunchtimes. In short, I need to train smarter and plan my workouts in advance. This will take some extra discipline, but it is absolutely necessary if I want to avoid being confined to a treadmill most evenings. The next lesson I learned is consistency over cramming. There is nothing worse than the dread of realising I still needed to do 20, 30, 40 kilometres the day before deadline day. In my review video I discussed that when I chipped away at a challenge regularly throughout the week, it had a massive impact on my mood and I felt a lot better. The goal this season is more consistent movement throughout the game week instead of a last minute rush. I have to remember that I'm doing this challenge to get fitter, but also have fun. The objective is to enjoy fizz, not fear it. The main advantage I have going in my favour is the fact that the Premier League schedule is set in stone. I know ahead of time when the game week is going to begin and how many kilometres I need to hit that week. Instead of just winging it and sticking my head in the sand, I can look forward and plan out the week to really increase my chances of hitting my goals. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. This is a quote from my favourite book, Atomic Habits. Routine and systems are key to this challenge being a success. The final point I want to make is that I need to be kind to myself. Last season there were many times where I did not complete my challenge. This was due to burnout, illness, or simply being too busy with other things going on in my life. It is unreasonable to think I can make it through a whole season without this happening again. This is a massive challenge. Taking this on while working full time and having a family is a serious commitment. I can't beat myself up if I don't manage to smash it out of the park every single week for a full season. The point of this lesson isn't to line up excuses, but to take some pressure off myself and prevent imploding like I did last season. As long as I can genuinely look back and say I was training more consistently and improving, then this is a massive benefit. I just need to evaluate the reasons why I didn't achieve a certain distance and learn from it going forward. To wrap this up, I know that in order to be successful this season, I'm going to have to train smarter, move consistently and stay positive. This sounds easy in theory, but it's definitely more difficult when applied in practice. I'm going to give it my all regardless. At the time of recording, I'm currently working through my Game Week 1 challenge. My next video will be an update on how I performed. Please consider subscribing to see how we do this season. Thank you for watching the channel where the real wins are not a fantasy.